Hi, welcome back to my channel. Hope you are all well and safe. Today's video attempts to answer the most frequently asked questions by teachers these days. What shall I do on my first day at school? I'm novice, how shall I act? So in this video, I will be sharing with you some helpful tips to survive your first day at school, especially if you are novice. Also, I will suggest a number of fun and interactive games and activities that you can use in class during the first day or days of school. So, novice or experienced, this video is for you. Keep watching. Straight to the point, let's start with some helpful tips for novice teachers. The first tip is get organized and prepared. You may wonder, it's just the first day, what shall I prepare? Well, preparation here includes everything, including your personal outfit, your school stuff, the bag, and any documents you may be in need of. In case you plan to administer any questionnaires or activities that require certain materials, do prepare them in advance. Also, if that's your first time teaching, I advise you to write the things you want to talk about in class on a small notebook so that while in class, if you forget something, you can just have a quick glance at your notes. The second tip is control your anxiety. Bear in mind that being stressed and anxious are normal feelings all people have, especially when going through a new experience. So even experienced teachers may feel a certain type of stress and tension at the beginning of the school year. The question here is, how can I control my anxiety? Well, the answer is very simple. You can get over these negative feelings by first getting prepared and organized. So before going to the class, you need to make sure that you have done all the things we have talked about in the first tip. Second, you just need to think positively and use positive words while talking to yourself. For example, you can say, I can do it, I'm gonna have an awesome year, I'm not stressed, and things gonna be great, and many other positive vibes. The third tip is show self-confidence. While in class, you need to appear self-confident. Stand up straight, preferably in the middle of the classroom, so that all learners can see you. Don't start talking unless all the students are quiet and all the eyes are on you. Speak in an audible voice, don't shout and don't whisper. While talking, make eye contact with learners and use body language and gestures if necessary. The last tip is be yourself. As a teacher, you may have been influenced by one of your teachers and you just say, I'm gonna be like him or her. Also, you may have already been in contact with other teachers and they have probably told you about their teaching experiences. My piece of advice, get into your class with no prior judgments. Others' experiences may not be the same as yours, and what worked with a given teacher may be a total failure with you. So don't copy or imitate the teaching style of anyone. Be sure with time you will have your own. So act according to your personality. You needn't be the funny and loud teacher to be loved and respected. Now I'm gonna share with you what I usually do on my first day at school. But before going into details, I just want to say that there is no correct or wrong way of doing things. It all depends on the teacher's personality and his or her teaching style. So for me, I start with greeting learners and having a brief chat with them, asking them how they feel about going to school and how was their holiday. Then I introduce myself briefly. After that, I like to tell my students that things gonna be great this year and we're gonna have an awesome year together, and they needn't to worry because everything is simple and within their reach. Next, I just explain my procedure of work and I reassure students that we are gonna have great fun while studying English. Also, I love to remind my students that the success of this class depends much on them and they need to be active participants during the course. At last, I devote some time for some fun and interactive activities that I will be sharing right away. One game that you can use during the first day of school is Two Truths and a Lie. Here, each student makes 3 sentences about himself or herself. 2 must be correct and 1 is wrong. The student shares his sentences and his classmates guess which sentence is the lie. This game encourages interaction between learners and allows the teacher to know more about his students. Another fun game that I like using too much is called mimet. It is an action game in which students use only gestures and movements to act out the ideas or the sentences they read on the strips of paper the teacher prepares beforehand. So one student picks one sentence and he mimes the idea using no words. The other students guess what the person on stage wants to say. Another interesting game for the first day is the opinion jar. This activity aims at encouraging students to express themselves freely, speaking out their thoughts and feelings. For example, you can ask the students to tell you about their English class for the previous year. How was their English teacher, what they liked and what they didn't like about his or her teaching style. Also, you can ask learners to write 3 things they want to share with you as their teacher. Learners then put those small strips of paper in the jar. The last letter can be also a good first day activity, especially with small classes. The teacher or one of the students suggests a word. Learners take turns to give words which start with the same ending letter of the previous word. For example, if the first person suggests the word school, the next person should make a word starting with the letter L, light for example, and the next person should find a word starting with the letter T, and so on and so forth. In this game, the teacher needs to set certain rules like no repetition of words, and the student shouldn't take too much time to suggest a word. That's all for today's topic. Hopefully you find it helpful and useful. If you have any questions, suggestions or topics you want me to deal with, leave a comment below. If you like the content of the video, subscribe now and share the video with your colleagues. Stay tuned. Have a nice day. Bye.